Welcome back. Well, as I mentioned, we are going to learn about Scrabble and the Scrabble Club from our two guests today. Well, welcome both of you. It's so nice to see you here and to learn all about the lovely game of Scrabble. I love it. I was telling you guys off camera that I was playing Scrabble not too long ago, and of course those two-letter words came up and people were arguing and saying, oh no, you can't use those words. But we know that's not true, that you can use those words. Yes. But before we get into the Barbara, why don't we have you tell us about the Scrabble Club?
Okay, the Scrabble Club here in Laguna Woods is one of the oldest clubs, sanctioned clubs actually in the United States. And it's one of the oldest clubs in Laguna Woods back into the 70s.
Okay.
So we meet every Monday. When you come to Scrabble Club, you get to play 3 games. And we match you up with someone who's at your own Scrabble level. So we have beginners to advanced.
Okay.
And
Clubhouse 5.
Clubhouse 5, 1245. Just come and we'll take care of you from there.
How do you decide about the level of someone? Is it amount of years that they've been playing?
Well, when they first come in, we ask them, do you play a lot of Scrabble or have you played? And a lot of people say yes. If they say, well, I played in the kitchen with my mom, then we start them, kind of with other people that we think are beginners.
Okay.
And then after that, we have them fill out a little card as they play with their score. Oh. And after that, we match them up with people who are scoring at about the same level.
Oh, I see.
It's not a very scientific formula, but the main purpose really is to get people out of the house, relieve that isolation that we've had for a long time.
Right.
And a chance to meet new people and expand our brain.
Right.
Muscle that brain muscle.
Right. Well, anything that we can do to help carry that along is perfect.
And so we're kind of the starting point. And then when I first came, I didn't realize there was a whole world of Scrabble out there. I just thought, okay, this is a nice little club. I can meet people. And then we found people like Gary, who's been in the club, I think, almost since the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he's a sanctioned director.
Okay.
Sanctioned?
Yeah.
Okay. And he plays all over the United States. He plays Scrabble probably every day of the week.
Wow.
And played in lots of tournaments. He's a winner. He's he's created books and everything. And he brought his own Scrabble stuff today.
I love it. Boy, she has just built you right up, hasn't she?
And in our Scrabble Club, when people come to Scrabble Club, you don't need to bring anything. We have the boards. We've got all the supplies. And sometimes we even have cookies and coffee. So.
Oh, nice. And you're already back together now. You're playing at Clubhouse 5.
Yes.
So what did you do during the whole time of COVID?
We didn't.
You didn't play.
We couldn't. And that's what a lot of people play Scrabble online,
Yeah.
And that's fine. You practice, but it's so much better to get out.
Yeah.
And we're too housebound. I think as seniors we kind of get to doing that. So.
Yeah.
It's a different game when you're playing against live people than when you're playing online. Mm-hmm. When you're playing online, you don't know if someone's sitting at home using the dictionary to look up words.
That's
when
true.
You're playing in person, and we play only one-on-one. At home, sometimes people play 3 or 4 at a board.
Yeah, I forgot.
But when you're playing one-on-one, when it's your turn, you're on offense, and you're also playing defensively, blocking certain spots on the board so your opponent can't get premium scores.
Right.
I run another Scrabble club here in the village on Wednesday evening over at Clubhouse 1 at 6 p.m. And that group tends to be more competitive.
Okay.
Everybody's welcome.
Right.
And sometimes newer players are afraid they're not going to look good or they don't know enough. But the truth is, your opponent doesn't care what you know or don't know.
Right.
They're focused on their own game.
Okay.
And I'm always trying to improve my best.
Right. Okay.
So that's what it's about. So people at home, if you shouldn't be discouraged about how much you know, how little you know, you'll find your way.
Okay.
And if you love words, there's not a better place to be.
Yeah.
You could be on a Scrabble cruise someday.
Wow, a Scrabble cruise.
Yeah, there are 3 or 4 Scrabble cruises every year.
Isn't that amazing?
I have made friends in Scrabble all over the world.
Wow.
I play with people from South Africa, from Australia. And if you have trouble sleeping at night, there's always a game you can play with someone else across the country.
Yeah, well, so when you do play against someone that is from another country, how do you, is it the English language words itself?
Okay, we have our own dictionary.
Right.
If you're going to the bookstore to find the dictionary, it's called the OSPD 6th edition.
Okay.
You know, there are a lot of old books on shelves. Don't get the first edition or the second edition. The 6th edition is what we use in club.
Okay.
There's about 170,000 words in there. Do you know how many words the average person on the street knows and uses?
No. Should I know that?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I should know that.
Yeah. Come to Scrabble, we'll teach you that.
it will surprise you. The average person on the street only knows about and uses about 5,000 words.
5,000, wow. And there's 170,000 in that dictionary.
There's 170,000 in our dictionary, but worldwide there are 1 million words.
Right.
And if people look at what's played on the board in club, sometimes they'll look at a word and say, well, that's not a real word. Our dictionary is based upon a list of words made by a committee.
I see.
So what the committee decides is a word is a word.
And that's what we use in club.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Right. Because I think most of us, well, speaking for myself and maybe my friends, that we only play Scrabble, you know, as a passing type of thing. So yeah, in the kitchen with mom or in the kitchen with your friends.
And you know, at home, sometimes people play, you can look up a word, you know.
Yeah.
We don't play that way. We do give you a cheat sheet to use first couple weeks you're there and learn some things. But after that, then the dictionary's out on the front, and if you challenge someone, you go look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold this up a little bit because
Isn't that neat?
I love it because it has all the different, you know, all where you have your keywords and things like that, but also it's rotating. And I think it's awesome that you have this nice big one. And these, all the ones you have, are they similar?
This is a custom board.
Oh, custom board.
The part in the middle is standard Scrabble.
Okay.
And that's a custom board.
Got it.
And then
look at this for competition. That's like a chess
competition,
person,
and
right?
especially for the people at Gary's level in his Wednesday night club, and for the more advanced players, they enjoy doing this because there's, you know, you press for your time, and you know.
Right, no, I love that. That's great.
Yeah, when you play at home at the kitchen and you don't have a timer, sometimes that one person takes 30 minutes for their turn. Well, if you're using a time clock, they only get 25 minutes for their whole game.
Oh, wow, so you gotta be quick.
You have to make your turn in about 1.5 minutes in order to complete the game without going overtime.
And in club, we play a 50-minute game.
Okay.
So we don't use clocks usually we have levels A, B, and C. And so C players and B players are more comfortable not using a clock generally. But when the game slows down, they'll say, you know, time's coming up, you know, we need to move along. So we kind of encourage faster play.
Right, right. No, I love that. I think it's great that you have all different levels. You have an expert who can help people if need be.
We have several experts.
Lots of experts. So let's tell them again when you actually meet. That's on Mondays.
Monday, 12:45. Come at 12:45. We actually start playing at 1 o'clock. And we play 3 games of 50 minutes each, so we're done usually by about 4 o'clock, a little after 4.
Perfect. Now, lastly, I wanted to touch base on the 2 words, the 2-letter words, because I've had arguments with people about this, like, oh, that's not a word. But like you said, if it's in that Scrabble dictionary, then it is a word.
Yes.
So, for instance, like, look at some of these, you know, who would have thought that AA or AB or UN or well, obviously up is one, but some of these you wouldn't ever think that were words. So how does that
they
work?
all have a definition. AA is cindery lava out of a volcano.
Oh, is it?
Okay. AB is a mussel.
Ah, yeah.
AD is an ad in the newspaper.
Right.
And as Gary's explained to me, like the collegiate dictionary may not include all of those, and that's why there's a special Scrabble dictionary, but they are all words. They just have to limit because they don't want to publish that much.
Yeah, no, right.
I had a lady come to club and she said, I don't want to play with all those silly 2-letter words. But the silly 2-letter words allow you to play 2 words parallel and connect them.
Right.
Because where they connect, it has to be a legal 2-letter word.
Right.
And it's all
right.
about the points, because
Yes.
you can play the same word, and if you link it, you'll get triple the points.
Right.
As if you try and just build it down from another person. And you can practice that. Gary has exercises for
A
all
lot
of us.
of people say that they're not good spellers. That shouldn't prevent anyone who enjoys words and puzzles from coming. It's a memory game,
Yeah.
and we teach you some little tricks on how to find those bigger words.
Okay.
And you don't have to know what the word means. You just have to recognize the word and find a place where it fits on the board.
I love it. And of course, the best letters to have are the large ones, the Q.
Yeah,
And
and the
trying to
Z.
come up with, and the Z, and try to come up with words for that. So
Well,
awesome.
they have those letters in a word will give you a big score.
Right.
But when you use all 7 tiles from your rack on a single turn, we call it a bingo, even though it's not a
Sure.
we're not playing bingo. And you get a 50-point bonus. So the
I didn't know that. I would have taken that 50 points.
And you
Yeah.
know, we're in the paper every weekend in Globe, and we list the people who had 90-point bingos, because we have people who score really high bingos, and we list all our people that won all 3 of their games. So you have a chance for fame.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us today and telling us all about Scrabble.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks
Thank you for
for
the
having us.
opportunity.
You're welcome. All right, stick around. We'll be right back.